placid. That's...
Well, yeah, you're. I'm glad you're doing placid today.
Yeah, same. Oh, mild sexual jokes this early in the morning. How uncouth.
You say this early in the morning. It's nearly 11. It's essentially the afternoon.
Yeah, and it's 7 for those that are listening. So
yeah, it's the evening.
It's the evening.
They're. You know where they are, Dan? They're in cool, happening jazz clubs with an old-fashioned, and they're sat in a leather armchair.
Yep.
And they're being all cool, listening to our podcast. They're not listening to the music in the jazz club, because why would you go to a music club to listen to music?
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
Normie.
They're listening to our podcast, a big 1950s old-fashioned, full of bloody maraschino cherries. And yeah, that's what they're doing. And then we're saying, oh, it's early to be making mildly sexual jokes. And they're going, wow, well, I'm a hip, cool cat in this jazz club. So I'm actually... It's late evening for me. You can make as many mildly sexual jokes as you like.
It's too late. It's gone.
Yeah, the only time of mildly sexual jokes is between 2 and 3 p.m, as we all know, of course.
Yep. During Christmas dinner. Yep.
Yes, during Christmas dinner. Doesn't your nan love it when you make a joke about dicks? That's great.
Oh, of course. That's what everyone wants. When they're eating their turkey or their ham or their macaroni, in Lewis's case.
Yeah, macaroni is the ideal. We eat so much fucking pasta in this house. It's kind of insane.
I'm so jealous that that's what you have for Christmas dinner. Like, holy shit. Like, why can't I have that?
Next time it happens, right, what we'll do next Christmas, I will make Christmas dinner, and then I'll scoop a little bit into an envelope for you, and I'll lick the envelope, seal it, and then post you an envelope of macaroni cheese. Does that sound good? No,
not really. But yeah, do it anyway, because who does hilarity. Yeah, I'll film it and we can
do it for the bit.
Yeah, for the bit. We're doing it for the bit. But let's move on.
Let's move on from this. Have you got some bullshit that's not to do with posting food?
I think so.
Oh, go on, hit me with it.
Right. It's the wheel turning.
Yeah.
The dark side of our houseplant obsession.
Ooh, this sounds engaging. Tell me about it. What's going on?
The horticultural equivalent of fast fashion. There's an environment-wrecking problem with houseplants you may not know about. By Matthew Appleby, 3rd of May 2021, 5 a.m, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, mail, 7 comments. For many millennial plant parents... Houseplants are pets to be loved and cherished. Pets? What the fuck? But when showing off their green lifestyle on Instagram, to date, there are 11.5 million house indoor plants #posts. Few houseplant alcoholics.
Right.
Wait, what?
Houseplant alcoholics.
Oh, aholics. Realise there's an elephant in the room. Leave the door open. The vast majority of houseplants are grown in peat, a nutritious soil-like substance formed from decayed organic matter over time. To continue reading, already a subscriber, log in. Enjoy it.
You can't just pick a shitty headline and then read me a third of an article. Oh,
I literally just saw it on Twitter and I was like, I don't have anything, I'll just fucking read this. By the Telegraph.
Okay. Do you have a lot of houseplants? Is that why it took you by fancy?
No, I just saw it.
I see. Well, we have houseplants. We have a lot of them. We have cacti and succulents and all that sort of stuff.
Well, there you go. That's all I have. It's Star Wars Day. That's something.
Yep, it is Star Wars Day. How do we feel on Star Wars? Are you going to watch all 9 films today?
No.
No, and neither would any sane person, I don't think.
No, but I will give a shout out to the Dork Wars podcast.
Yes,
who will
go and
no
listen
doubt
to Dork Wars
reveling in Star Wars Day. Maybe we should find out Doctor Who Day.
Is there a Doctor Who Day?
I know there's
got to be a Doctor Who Day.
I know there's a Dalek Day that I've planned for. So.
Oh bloody hell! Look at you.
Yeah.
Doctor Who Day, November 23rd. The day the sci-fi series came hurtling into our lives back in 1963.
Oh, Dalek Day is like November sometime as well.
What's Dalek Day in celebration of?
The first appearance of the Daleks, I think.
Cool. 21st of December.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was
Cool.
November. But anyway, yeah, I like sort of like you get national holidays now for like everything. Well, not holidays, just days for stuff like I don't know, like just weird stuff that you would never think deserved a day. But I like sort of sci-fi days.
I know what you mean.
Because that's
They're
what I
usually
enjoy.
kind of weird and confusing.
Yeah.
I also like what was I going to say? I know what you mean about very specific days. It's kind of handy for me as a food writer because then a lot of people come to me at certain times and are like, "Can you write an article about this obscure food item, please?" Yes, I can. I would love to write an article about. The last one I had was National Chicago Deep Dish Pizza Day.
Wow.
Which is nice, I suppose. I'm sure you're aware of this type of pizza. In the UK, Goodfellas pizza, I think, is the sort of the go-to that people might think of. The one you buy frozen and then microwave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a deeply loved thing, fresh out of Chicago. So yeah, now I know a bit about that, which is nice, I suppose.
Well, there you go.
But for that article, they wanted to include a little about the author at the bottom. So I wrote a little blurb about myself, and they commissioned an artist and sent him a picture of me, and they made a little cartoon Lewis Brindley that is now on their website. How great is that?
That is pretty cool. Have you posted? You posted that before, didn't you?
I did, yeah. It was on my Instagram for a bit. They're cute. It's just a little picture of me.
You should post it so that everyone can see it forever.
I shall forever. I tell you what's there's a terrible thing has happened in our lives.
Go on.
A fantastic takeaway has opened up near us.
How
they
dreadful.
Are called, I know, it's horrific. They're called Shaloops, and they do stupendous dessert-oriented things. They do incredible milkshakes. But the thing that impresses me is a lot of the time, sort of milkshake places or dessert places that you see a lot of nowadays, it's just people sort of exploiting the inherently good taste of Nutella, which is, fair enough if that's what you want to do. But I am very impressed by the fact that Shaloops does not do this. Instead,
Oh, really?
they have sort of blended together different chocolate bars in interesting ways to make drinks that are just nice. Like, my favourite one is their Jammy Dodger one. They do like a Jammy Dodger milkshake.
Oh, that's
It's
interesting.
and it tastes like Jammy Dodgers. I think there are actually Jammy Dodgers in it. I don't know, but it's great. The one that Chloe really likes is Flake Dime and Oreo. I think it is Flake Dime and Oreo. Because it always says FDO on the side, so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just really good, because obviously Dime bars have got that sort of burned caramel taste to them, and Oreos are quite bitter, really.
Yeah.
And then the flakes are so sort of sweet, and they've got that Cadbury taste. It doesn't taste like chocolate, it tastes like Cadbury. So it's just, I'm really impressed by the fact that this place sells these milkshakes, etc., which are just interesting combinations of nice chocolate bars.
Wait, so what's the terrible thing then?
We've had like 100 in the last week, and I'm about to die from drinking too many milkshakes.
Oh, that's quite good.
Yeah.
Well, there's no really any other way to go, Lewis. If you know.
No, the best way to go is to die in a hot tub drinking really good milkshakes.
Exactly.
So all that's left is for me to buy a hot tub.
Yeah. Step 1 is complete of my master plan. Now the hot tub. Oh, that sounds like a plot line in this film that we're about to talk about.
It does sound a plot line in this film about we're about to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like milkshakes. I could go a milkshake right now.
Yeah. You know what was the greatest milkshakes? But then they closed the location near me. GBK did really good milkshakes. Do you have a GBK in Glasgow?
I don't. If we do, I don't know about it.
Well, if you are lucky enough to have a Gourmet Burger Kitchen near you, go and get one of their milkshakes. In fact, some of their burgers. It's expensive food, but it's really good. their milkshakes are really good because they're so thick it's sort of almost difficult to drink them. They do a lime milkshake, which is really, really good. It's very sweet because it's full of chockers with ice cream, but it was also lime flavored, so it's really sharp and acidic, but also sweet and good. It's just really good.
Oh, I'm salivating now, Lewis. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, I like milkshakes. I really like the milkshakes you get in TGI Fridays.
I have never been to a TGI Fridays in my life.
Oh, you're missing out there.
I remember I was once offered to go. I think it was on 4 o'clock club one day. You were like, "Oh, well, we might go to TGI's later. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "No, not really." And I have never been ever.
Well, we'll need to go the next time I see you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think is there one in Stoke. I don't think there's a TGI's in Stoke.
There must be.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, there is.
Hey!
Well, hey, it's I am terrible with locations of things. It's next to a Burger King.
Oh.
That's helpful to anyone.
Oh, yes. The landmark Burger King, of course. There it is.
It's like, there's this city in Cyprus and then they have one set of traffic lights. It's like that. It's like, go to the traffic light. Turn
really?
Left, turn right, turn right. Go to the Burger King in Stoke-on-Trent and do all these different turns and stuff.
No, but yeah, they do chocolate, a chocolate milkshake with like Oreos on top, with whipped cream in it. Oh, it's fucking dynamite.
That does sound stupendous. Right, this is the. I know we talk about food a great deal on this podcast. Oh, my cat's just walked in. Hi, Monica.
Hello.
She hi. Don't tell her, but she's got to go to the vet on what is it, Thursday?
You've just told. You've just shouted it out, and she can.
Well, yeah, I know. It's called comedic irony.
Oh, I thought you were serious. I thought she there was a word that triggered her. Bath triggers my dog. She looks at me as if I've punched her in the face.
Or like when you say to some dogs, "Do you wanna?" and they just look at you like, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't know what it is, but yes, I do. I want to go.
Do you want a treat?" And she's like that, you know. Turns her head.
But anyway, yeah, the weird food thing I was going to talk about. I tried KFC's vegan burger. It's sort of crap. I don't think that's the problem of the vegan burger. I think that's the problem of KFC. You know.
I have never.
It was
tried
okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, because it's Quorn, like the meat substitute brand.
Yeah.
And it's all right. It's not that exciting. It's not that terrible. It's a Quorn burger with the KFC herbs and spices, I guess. Which, right, I'm going to come out and say it. The herbs and spices were dull.
Oh.
Right. Here's a hot take.
Oh, here we
That's
go.
The hot take alarm. Southern American cooking is some of the best cooking in the world, and I think KFC does it a disservice by selling things that aren't actually that good. Hot take over.
I agree.
There's like in our house, one of our favourite dishes. It's whenever Chloe has a tough day at work, I always make it for dinner because it's her favourite. Is we call it cheesy spaghetti. Usually, it does not have spaghetti in it because the shop doesn't sell spaghetti, so it's usually tagliatelle. So but anyway, cheesy spaghetti, and it's essentially a macaroni cheese sauce with like a really sharp cheddar with the trifecta of Southern American ingredients for a white sauce: Worcester sauce, Tabasco, and nutmeg.
Oh,
sounds like a weird combination, but it works fucking brilliantly because it's salty and it's spicy and it's sort of earthy and herby.
Yeah.
It's really good.
God.
And I think KFC are doing a disservice to Southern American cooking by selling chicken that's not that great.
Yeah, the only way if I'm really hungry and I see a KFC, I'll get a KFC, but I'm always inevitably disappointed by the meal that I get.
Yeah.
I should say in the interest of fairness that there are many other fast food joints around the country. So yeah, we're not sponsored by KFC. No. Imagine we were. Yeah, KFC shite.
Oh no, I've just had an email. We've lost the £10 million sponsorship with KFC. Fuck. Quick, say their gravy's really good.
Yeah, isn't their gravy meant to be really nice though?
Their gravy is meant to be like one of the greatest things ever made by humans.
Yeah,
I
South
haven't
Park
tried
did
it,
an
so I
episode
can't
on
comment.
it. Like,
Did they?
yeah, like Cartman, KFC had been completely run out of town, and like they had rehab centers for people who were addicted to KFC,
Oh my God.
and Cartman was given like a tub of gravy every day. It's like, what? Where's the chicken? It's like, do you not want the gravy? No, I'll take the gravy. Aye, like, but it was and then the KFC became like a sort of illegal substance that was traded in the black market and all that. But Cartman didn't want to eat the chicken; he just ate the skins, and just left the chicken on its own, which was it's a whole thing. It's quite funny. I would watch it.
Yum. Yes, that does sound good. This is a lesser known fact. I think KFC have tried to sort of hush it away over the years, but who gives a shit nowadays?
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders, after he was sort of, I think he had a small chain of restaurants himself, which was then bought out by a larger company, which allowed him to make it sort of worldwide sort of thing. Shortly after he was bought out, I think the sort of head honcho shareholder type guys said, okay, the food's great, but we can make it cheaper and only make minor adjustments. And so they made the minor adjustments, and famously Colonel Sanders hated it. Changes to his herbs and spices blend, and also to the gravy was the thing that he really hated. He said it was thin like wallpaper paste. He absolutely loathed the gravy, which now is such a loved thing by people.
I mean, it is really interesting how big companies will continue to sort of put on the charade of small town sort of business sort of thing. Yeah. It's like even like in TV shows like Los Pollos Hermanos, it's like it tells the story of two people who just don't fucking exist. It's like, oh yeah, it's the Chicken Brothers. It's like, no, it's just Gus.
It's just Gus.
I think it serves these companies well to have like a sort of mythos.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Nando's thing with the chicken in the pie.
Yeah. Like that could just be bollocks for all we know.
Yeah, who knows?
But anyway.
Tell you what, Nando's food is okay. It's not... Here's another hot take. Hot take alert.
Medium
okay.
Medium spice or hot spice or extra hot or nuclear. Or the other ridiculous one that's just the same, but they've put another label on it.
Normally, I go for mango and lime on my burger, but then I get whatever the hottest sauce is of the bottles. And then I put the sauce on the plate, and then I dunk. Because I like to control the spice in each bite, rather than... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like either getting the mango and lime or the lemon and herb, and I'll get medium... bottle and put it all over my chips.
Exciting. That is a nightmare. I know some people do this thing where they put sauce on their chips. I think it's perhaps the most insane thing that I've ever heard.
Why?
That people actually do that. Because then how are you going to eat? Because the entire point of chips is that you eat them with your hands. So how are you going to eat the chip if it's just completely fucking covered in ketchup or chili sauce or whatever?
You do the zigzag, Lewis.
Yeah, but then it's an uneven distribution of sauce.
Listen, I'm very good at it.
We need to redistribute the sauce.
I'm very good at it. There's always
seize the means of Piri production.
There's always an end, Lewis, that I can pick at. Okay.
No, I'm sure there is. I find it insane.
Well, luckily, it's not your fucking chips.
No, it's not my chips, and you can do what you like. But I'm allowed to say that is completely insane.
You are.
Because what gets me is when you're out, like not sat in a restaurant, but like say you're like on a day out or something, you're eating chips at the beach. I see people out there eating chips at the beach with ketchup on the chips, but they have a little fork. It's like, okay, but then that's just another piece of crap that you're generating, which you're gonna throw into the sea or on the floor or whatever. So yeah, maybe you'll use a little wooden fork, but then you get splinters in your tongue. It's just insanity to me that people put ketchup or any kind of sauce directly on the top of the chips. It goes on the side, and then you dunk and eat. You feel?
No. It must go all over the chips. The chips
What
must
is
be
it?
drenched.
I have a question about sauce.
Uh-huh.
What is, in terms of dipping / spreading over the chips like some kind of a maniac, what is your favourite sauce? If we're thinking sweet chili, barbecue, honey mustard.
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on how I'm feeling. It's either ketchup or it's the medium sauce from Nando's or a sort of alternative.
That's a good choice. With me, it's normally some kind of sweet chili sauce. I love a good sweet chili sauce.
I'm not really. I don't really like sweet, spicy things. I like sort of savoury, spicy things. Like if I'm gonna get a curry or something like that, I'll get a madras. Like,
yeah, they're quite dry and yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Am I thinking of the right one?
Yeah, it's one of the hottest ones, I think.
Yeah. Madras sauce is a fairly hot curry sauce, red in colour, heavy use of chili powder. Yogurt is often used to take away some or all of the heat.
Yeah, I don't really use yogurt. I've got a pint of milk.
In a glass bottle that the milkman has brought you just now.
Yep, I drench the milk all over the chips.
Oh my god. I just agreed with that, and then I heard what you said. That's insanity.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Milk on chips. That makes perfect sense.
Makes sense.
Ew.
Makes sense.
Milky chips. Milky potatoes. Well, actually, people eat potato dauphinoise, don't they? So
yeah, but
I suppose that's cream and butter and cheese.
Yeah,
that's
but
not
no
milk.
A fucking glass of milk over your chips. You know what I mean? Fuck's sake, man.
Just a glass of like chocolate milk just poured over your chips.
Oh, Lewis, stop.
Well, people dunk the McDonald's fries into the McDonald's shakes.
Yeah, and they're fucking animals.
I remember asking, because I learned about this in a math class class at college, and the person said, "Oh yeah, I've tried it," and I was like, "Is it good?" And he went, "Not really. It's not as nice as having both of those things separately, but it's okay."
Yeah,
it's like, well, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not as nice as having a meal that you can enjoy.
This is sort of how I feel about beans on toast. I feel like it's a fundamentally flawed meal because the beans are the bean juice renders the toast too soggy to be toast. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I like beans on toast.
I'm not a fan, but Chloe, when she makes beans on toast, puts cheese in the beans. So cheesy beans on toast obviously is already legendary. But like, I think mixing the cheese in with the beans, it thickens the sauce to such a degree that you don't just get sloppy, wet toast. So like, it's moist, but it's not wet.
Yeah.
So I think that's perhaps a way forward.
Moist.
Through this ongoing beans on toast crisis.
Of course. Well, we need to bring that up at the next National Congress of Beans on Toast.
The shareholder meeting of Beans on Toast shareholders. Yep,
definitely.
It's Heinz and Hovis come together to talk about beans on toast. I might have beans on toast for lunch now. I'm feeling it.
You said you weren't a fan.
No, but I'm a fan of cheesy beans.
Oh,
on toast,
right,
see?
okay. You're going to put some cheese in it, right? Okay.
I'm going to put some cheese in it, Dan.
Well, speaking of cheese,
Go on, make a leap. Make a leap between beans on toast and death becomes her.
It's not even
Bruce
beans
Willis.
on toast, it's cheese.
No.
There's some cheesy
Have we
lines
got
of
them being a
dialogue.
fool?
Whoa!
Hey,
There we go.
maybe is there one in something about Mamma Mia? Was there cheese in Mamma Mia? There's meals in Mamma Mia. There's got to be some kind of
There'll
cheese
be
going on.
cheese in there somewhere. But anyway,
Yeah,
are you sated bullshit wise?
I am sated. I am full, and the only thing on my mind is beans on toast and Bruce Willis with a
Right.
mustache.
Well, we'll get through it quickly, and we'll get you your beans on toast.
Excellent.
So today we are talking about Death Becomes Her, which is a
Indeed.
film. It's written by. it's
a film, I suppose. It's all right.
It's a motion picture. And it was written by Martin Donovan and David Kep.
I did not open the IMDb page for this. Now I'm going to.
Oh,
And I'm not going to cut this bit out so everybody can listen to this. IMDb Death Becomes Her.
I'm gonna go with Kep.
Hang on. What are we talking about? Who wrote it?
Yeah.
The writer, if I can piss him find it. Where is it?
It's
Oh,
Martin.
here we go. Martin Donovan and I'd say David Kep.
Right.
Koepp. I'd say Kep.
Yeah, I'd say Kep. Okay. And it was directed by Robert Zemeckis, and it is starring Golden Hawn, Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, and Isabella Rossellini. So
It is.
there you go. Do you have an opening statement?
I do. Perhaps one of the most captivating films I have ever seen.
Wow.
It drew me in at the start and kept me guessing all the way through. I really, really enjoyed this film. It's kind of cheesy, tongue-in-cheek, stupid things like when Meryl Streep is at the top of the stairs and she's like falling for about 3 minutes while Bruce Willis decides whether or not he's going to push her.
Yeah.
I like that. It's really silly, but it's all, and like how Isabella Rossellini is constantly wearing these ridiculous outfits because we know why. It's a cultural joke. The joke is that in old school movies like this, but serious, the villain would always be wearing some kind of insane outfit.
Yeah.
And so you're watching Isabella Rossellini wear these ridiculous things, and you're thinking, oh yeah, that's a cultural joke. It's a smartly done joke, and I like it. I really like this movie. It's great.
I agree. The story of 3 horrible people. One, a sleazy coward that cheats on their partner. One who is a narcissistic image obsessive. And one who takes having a grudge to a whole new level. Very entertaining and funny.
I agree with you. It's I do like that. It kind of answers a big question about like living a long time and things like that, but it also kind of deliberately doesn't in it. Like that bit they say about Bruce Willis, whose name I've forgotten, Melvin, is that it?
Is it Ernest or something?
Ernest, that's it, yeah. Ernest will truly live forever in all of our hearts and minds because he was such a good bloke. I don't think that's what the vicar says, but he says something like that, basically.
Yeah.
He did a lot of charity work, and he did this, and he had his family, and he'll live forever because of this. And I think that's sort of... They ask an interesting question by saying, well, will he, though? Because these women are actually going to live forever. Will the memory of the Doctor, will it outlive Meryl Streep and oh crikey, I forgot her name, Goldie Hawn?
But I suppose no one really knows who they are. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, they've been so obsessed with like trying to stay alive that their sort of reputation has been sullied because they're just so busy painting themselves and like, try to keep their appearance up, which is kind of... So they'll live forever, but maybe as what though? As like a clump of cells eventually.
Yeah.
Like they'll just continue to decay, and like even like is it Liesel?
I think it might be Liesel, yeah.
Liesel, who's like the sort of head of this society, she's gonna decay. Like they're all gonna just decay and have to keep up appearances. If living forever meant that like everything would just heal and like I wouldn't ever get like old and I wouldn't break or anything like that, then yeah, I would be alright with that. Like, I'd do that. But like sort of hurting yourself by accident and then having to like paint yourself and repair yourself, like no, fuck that. That's shite.
Yeah. I think with anything about living forever, it's got to be a, yes, I will live forever as long as I can kill myself if I want. I think
exactly.
That's always got to be a sort of a contingency, because I think it's... what's that Peter Capaldi line from Doctor Who? Living forever isn't living forever, it's watching everybody you love die again and again and again.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's kind of... That's precisely what I would want to avoid. Yeah. I'd want to be able to say, okay, I've lived my life with my wife and family and everybody. Now I can kind of just kill myself and feel happy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see the way, like, because obviously I hadn't seen this film. So, like, I was like, okay, so they've set it up. So it's going to be about how Meryl Streep breaks these two apart, and then it's cut to the wedding. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
It got
okay.
me the first time as well.
And then you jump to Helen. Oh my god, she's completely different, and she's clearly in a bad place. Okay, so it's going to be about her sort of getting revenge in the film, and then boom, Meryl Streep discovers an aging potion. Oh fuck! Okay,
Yeah.
what's going to happen now? Oh, she's dead. No, wait, she isn't. I thought it's just you were right at the beginning. It keeps you guessing, and you have no
does.
fucking clue what's gonna come next. I really enjoy it. I was on the edge of my seat when I watched it.
Yes, completely. Yeah.
Helen's reaction to losing her husband is how I react when I'm spurned in any small way.
What was it?
Just get cats and just like
Oh,
sit and watch the person die on television. Why is Meryl Streep so good at playing arseholes?
I think it's because Meryl Streep is an incredibly skilled actor.
I thought you were going to say, I think it's because Meryl Streep is an arsehole.
No. Christ, no, please, Meryl, don't come for me. No, I think Meryl Streep is a very skilled actor. I think, have you ever seen her in something and thought, no, she wasn't the right choice for that part?
No, never. I haven't. So, you proved me wrong right there. Wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
We've proved you something.
Yeah. All three of them are horrible people.
Yeah, sort of.
Like, so what I don't get is why does Ernest get to have this big redemption arc? Like, suddenly it would have been more powerful, I think, if Helen was the one to get the redemption arc. Like, and she realizes she's offered immortality, and it's just, what do you call it? Madeline and Ernest that are fighting with each other forever because they sort of severely wronged her. Whereas they just sort of torpedoed Helen's character a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I suppose maybe it's sort of a frog and a scorpion type situation. Maybe the movie's trying to make the point the only way to live is to adapt and to change. It's adapt or die sort of thing, and I suppose that's he will live forever because he adapted and changed and became a better person. Or do you want to live forever suspended at this specific point of your life? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. It's just like at the beginning, it's like, I suppose that keeps to the whole sort of keeping you guessing sort of thing, but they set it up like, okay, so she's going to maybe go a bit too far and then she's going to realise, oh shit, this is bad. I suppose what I was really hoping for, that all three of them had a bad ending. That's what I was really hoping. Like, it's just the three of them are just really horrible people who just don't get any of the outcomes or they get the outcome that they want, but not in the way that they imagined it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because it reminded me a bit of like, what's it called? Mephistopheles, is that what it is?
Faustus.
Yeah, Faustus, yeah. But be careful what you wish for, sort of genie sort of thing. I like that.
Yeah, like the monkey's paw.
Yeah, exactly. That could have been a lot better. It's still a good film. I'm not saying it's.
No, I completely agree with you. I think I don't know. There was lots of interesting stuff going on. I think you could rewatch it a dozen times and you'd still find new things. Lots of little things like, oh, he was a practicing doctor, but then he suddenly became a mortician.
Yeah.
And it's lots of little interesting, weird things, which, I don't know, I quite like it. Like you say, it's captivating. It keeps you guessing. It's a good movie.
Yeah. All the sort of subtle hints about death, like the nicknames like Mad and Hell.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Like, what do you call it? There's like a couple of lines. It's like, just stuff that hinted to what was going to happen. Like Meryl Streep waving at Ernest through the window, and he raises his hand, and there's like blood on it, and just waves back at her, stuff like that. I thought that was like blood in his hand sort of thing. I thought that was quite cool. Just like, we're all mere mortals here and stuff like that. Just stuff like that. How did he get in? That guy. He just
What guy?
teleported in to the consultation room. The one that works for
must have.
Liesel. He just sort of appears.
Sort of appears. Maybe the door is very well oiled. The hinges are.
Yeah, maybe.
Expressly so that like people can sneak in and out for this exact purpose.
Maybe there's a secret door behind the wall or something.
Yeah, maybe.
And I like how they hinted that they're gonna have to look after themselves really well because his eye kept twitching. Like, if you remember, his eye sort of kept blinking really hard.
Yes, it did.
Which I was like, what the fuck is that? What's going on there? So it's all sort of...
Maybe it's a sort of a nod to that. You know, when you tell a joke and it's like, not tell a joke, you're trying to deceive somebody and you sort of wink at somebody else. It's like, oh no, yeah, that did happen, didn't it? And then you wink at somebody else and they go, oh yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. Or you'll live forever, wink.
Yeah. No, I like that.
It's a bit of a tenuous link, but I suppose maybe it kind of sort of works.
Yeah. I like how they ask the questions that no one else asks in these films. Like when someone's getting made a deal about immortality and it's all very mysterious and Meryl Streep's just like, how much is it? Like that, just completely cutting through the bullshit. Like, how much is this going to cost me? She drinks it and then it's like, okay, now I have to warn you. What the
Now?
That's so good. Oh, it's just small little things that I noticed like that. It's just like it sort of was like a jigsaw puzzle adding up to the bigger sort of thing, and I loved how the two of them were just like horrible, sort of wretched creatures by the end of it.
Yeah,
and they're just still bickering. Like.
Because they're sort of, it's this eternal hell that they're going to be living in. It doesn't even bear thinking about. Because you'd become a recluse if you sort of realised, well, I can't risk ever getting injured because I can't die, and it doesn't hurt, so I'll just be a disembodied head forever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just wouldn't go out. You'd stay in the house. You'd become a recluse. It'd be horrid.
What's your read on the title then?
Death become. Ooh.
Is it maybe because death is like death can't die, so maybe they become? I don't know.
Maybe. I think in the literal sense, death becomes her. It sort of means like he'd say, oh, red becomes her. The dress becomes her. It's like the dress makes her look a lot better. Yeah. So death becomes her. Literally, I suppose would mean, oh, they look a lot better when they're dead. So maybe that's sort of a hint. You're supposed to be like, oh no, the potion killed them. The potion killed them, and now they're just dead forever.
Yeah, that might be it. Almost like it almost sounds like it's like what they were talking about, like natural law and stuff like that. Like it's breaking natural law. Like death is becoming her or someone else, or like to the human standard almost. Whereas death is meant to be sort of beyond that, and death is just fixed and can't ever be. But where it's like
it's a fixed point in time.
Yeah, fuck off.
Or maybe it's when Meryl Streep goes to visit Isabella Rossellini, and she's like, "Oh, I want to become like you." Maybe because death is kind of the process to becoming like her. So is that kind of the message?
Yeah. Again, it's a lovely title. Keeps you guessing.
It does.
It's
so impressive. This movie is such a good one.
I will say that I noticed that on the security guards when Meryl Streep first arrived there, I noticed a radio mic on the guy's back.
Oh.
As he was turning. So come on now, come on, Robert. Fuck's sake. It's just little thing. It's like ultimately, if that is the state of like living forever, is who the fuck would want that? Like these people are just so horrible that they actually think that rather than being remembered as a good person, they would rather toil and sort of limp through life as this corpse in order to clear. It's like really quite horrible and tragic.
No, you're right. It is tragic. I suppose it's like a Shakespearean style tragedy.
Yeah,
It has a sad ending. It has a tragic ending.
and but it's also it's like a dark comedy at the same time. So it's like it can still not take itself so seriously, and is able to do you remember we were parked and all, like, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Liesl changed as like Ernest was escaping. She was like, get him, and then like the next time we see her, she's in a completely different outfit.
Yeah, I do like. I suppose they're kind of dedicated to the aesthetic in the strangest way possible.
Definitely.
It is weird that they don't, because they seem to have an inexhaustible supply of this drink. It's weird that they don't want to make a buck off it. Do you know what I mean? Or they don't want to share it with the world. Or
well, they got Meryl Streep to pay quite a lot of money. Check okay, like she nearly left. It was that much. Like, and we know that she's very wealthy, so like, I mean, it must have been a great deal of money.
That's true, yeah.
I
wonder if anybody else paid. Did they all have to pay? Did Elvis pay?
Elvis must have paid, and I think Helen said she paid. She was like, it was all I had.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's different. Well, she said that. She's like, it's different for everyone. Which is
okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Meryl Streep was allowed to pay, and other people might not have been. And yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Ernest was just given it, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah, I think they realised that it would be handy to have him around, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just, we'll do this for the good of this live forever community type thing.
Maybe she would have said afterwards, like, okay, now that you've done that, your payment is making sure that all the clients look good.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. The one other thing I did quite like was the sequence where Bruce Willis is in the completely white suit, and it's like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about how we're going to hide Meryl Streep's murder.
Yeah.
I liked that sequence, because, again, it's a cultural joke. We know why he's in a white suit. We know why it's shot the way it is. We know, because that's the style of these types of movies set in Hollywood, very conveniently for the filmmakers. And I think I like that it's sort of self-referential. It's almost fourth wall breaking. I really like it.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's almost self-aware in the sort of like plastic surgery culture of like Hollywood, and how like even like today, huge sort of TV shows are like made on altering oneself for for
completely
beauty. It's like, it's really, in that sense, it's like it has a lot to say about that. And nothing can last forever, and trying to prolong that is inevitably just going to make you miserable.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. It's for some reason that conjured up diamonds are forever in my mind, which is perhaps the most successful slogan of all time. The irony, of course, being diamonds don't last forever.
Yeah.
They are strong as gemstones go, but they're also, because of the specific structure of them, they can shatter if you hit them in the right place with the right amount of force and all that stuff. And it's still a monumental amount of force, but of course, the whole it's diamonds are forever is that, oh well, don't you want your love to be forever? Yeah. Don't you want to love your wife? Then you'd better buy this thing. It's kind of crazy.
Exactly.
But then I suppose the ladies shatter, don't they? Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, they shatter at the end.
Yeah, true.
Maybe that's a diamonds are forever type situation where it's like, oh well, you do live forever, but you can shatter very, very easily.
Yeah. And
like one of those shatterproof rulers from school.
Shatterproof these, Bob. Bob, get these shatterproof. Also, going back to the title, like, death lasts forever. That's the only thing that's certain. And so when it's like, it becomes her, it becomes these two people that last forever now. Like,
maybe it's this is a bit more, not a hot take as such, a bit of a theoretical take. Maybe it's implying that there's some kind of demon or spirit or whatever, or say they gave the potion to, I don't know, some old person from the Middle Ages and they'd been around for 1,000 years, that's got to fuck you up, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're losing your mind pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Well, I say pretty quick. In the cosmic sense, you're losing your mind pretty quick. In the human being sense, you're losing your mind after about 200 years.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's what it's talking about. It's almost as though they're possessed by this spirit of like of running away from death and chasing after these things they never quite had in life. And I don't know.
It's weird, but
very weird.
It's really funny. It's a really funny film.
It is a really funny film. You're right.
It can make you sort of contemplate the physicalities of living that long and like what you would need to do in order to sustain yourself, and at the same time it's a film that you can just watch over and over again without actually without actually thinking too much about it. I love how Bruce Willis is thinking about saving Meryl Streep, and she just goes, "Hurry up, you wimp!" And he just goes, "Right, fuck you," and just pushes.
I know it's yeah, and then the irony is that's how Bruce Willis falls out of the castle. She's I love it. I love this movie. It's such a good movie.
The death scene where like her head's on back. Oh my god, that was
horrendous.
Yeah.
She
and
gets
the
up and
doctor,
walks around as though she's a zombie. The doctor?
The doctor that
God,
dies.
yeah, the doctor.
He literally just fucking collapses. It's so... Oh my god, there's just so many things that you remember. It's like, holy shit, he just collapsed because he was in shock.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, do I look good? I mean, oh my god. No, but it's a really good film.
Oh, totally. Completely a really good movie. It's... Yeah.
I think I might be out of notes.
I think I'm also out of notes, which is a shame because we're only 47 minutes into the podcast.
I know.
Thing is, we always have this struggle with like really, really good movies, which is that we struggle to talk at great length about them because we go, yeah, that's really good. Then name a few good things, and that's it.
Yeah.
Bad films, you can complain about at great length.
Oh, exactly.
Like, we could talk about Justice League or whatever for hours because it's so confusing and weird.
Yeah.
But like, oh no, this is just a good movie. I don't have much more to say after that.
I mean, I never got around to watching the 4-hour edition.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No,
It's
neither did I.
I'm struggling to believe that a film that was bad in the beginning, somehow tacking on 3 other hours is going to save it from itself. I'm not entirely convinced by that hypothesis.
No, neither am I. It's, yeah. There's nothing much more I can say. I don't think adding 3 more hours of film is going to help.
No.
Apparently it's really good. Apparently people are now campaigning for the release of a Zack Snyder cut, which is completely in black and white. And apparently the Joker scenes will be slightly different. It's
just come on.
Yeah, there's this old quote, isn't there? A work of art is never finished, merely walked away from. You go, yeah, but the walking away is what makes it the piece of art.
Yeah, true.
I think if you are just constantly working on something forever, then it becomes a part of your everyday life. And don't get me wrong, that can have an artistry to it, but it's not. At that point, I don't think it's art. Do you know what I mean? It's just a thing.
Yeah. I mean, see, in fairness, if movie studios weren't so interfering, then this wouldn't be a problem. I mean, if directors were just allowed to see their vision through, like, it would just be so much easier rather than, oh no, we don't like this, and then Josh Whedon coming in and fucking giving his
Joss Whedon, notorious piece of shit.
Yeah, just giving his fucking funny dialogue over it. Like, just if you're gonna hire a director, let the director do what they're gonna do. Don't fucking okay. Let's change that. Let's just change that. It's like it happened to Orson Welles, like when he released Citizen Kane, like that he was granted complete control over that, and it's considered to be one of the best films ever made. And then he made another film where the studio, somehow not realizing, oh, this is really successful, let's just let him do what he's got to do, they completely interfered and changed the film entirely, and it was shite.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I know what you mean. I really do know what you mean. The thing is, it's a hard thing to say because the reason you would have it sponsored by a studio was so that the studio would be paying for it. So it's kind of hard to say to them, okay, we know you're paying for it, but can we just change all these different things? And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But on the same level, because of artistic integrity, I think finding a studio that is willing to work with you and say, okay, because if you just said, okay, 21st Century Fox Studio gave me £30 million to make this movie, and then they did not talk to me once ever after that. They said, okay, we want nothing more to do with you. Give us a ring when it's done, and we'll sort out the distribution.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That's one kind of studio-sponsored making of a movie, but it's also not really the kind I think would ever come to fruition. I think you're always going to have the Disney execs or the whoever execs upstairs going, well, I'm not sure if I like this bit at 43 minutes and 12 seconds. We'll hold on this shot a bit longer. Then they have to organise months-long reshoots of different scenes. Do you know what I mean? It's a kind of a tragedy in a weird way.
It really is. Like with Suicide Squad, they got the guy who made the trailer to edit the film. Like,
yeah.
What?
Which is why the film plays like a really long trailer.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
A big music video.
Yeah. There's I remember watching this review where this guy was like, it's like there's no scenes. There's no scenes in this film.
Yeah.
Because they're all cut up and spliced together. It's really weird.
Exactly.
And it's not that, like, I think in practice, a narrative structure centered around that meeting in the restaurant with Viola Davis and the two sort of, they were CIA higher-ups or FBI higher-ups or whatever they were.
Some fucking...
some made-up department.
Yeah.
That, in theory, centering a story around that could work wonders. But there's lots of stories where that works really well. The one that springs to mind really instantly is Rocket Man.
Yeah.
That's centered around Elton John going to therapy, being in a group therapy session, and it's the line is blurred on whether the therapy session is real or a dream or just his imagination or what it is. But my point is, you can structure a film around one core scene. It doesn't have to be a mishmash of confusing nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Too much. I think there was too many cooks at the pot on Suicide Squad specifically, and other films that have just, what we want is complete directorial control, like The Room. That was a complete class.
Cinematic classic. I want to remake The Room, please.
Oh yeah, just no, please don't ever touch that film ever again. Like, Jesus Christ, what a great film though.
Oh yeah,
a masterclass in filmmaking.
Oh hi, Mark.
Oh hi, Mark. He's
so
distraught about being accused of hitting his girlfriend. And he's like, oh no, oh hi Mark, how you doing? What's happening?
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
What he said?
I did not hit her.
What a guy. I did not.
I did.
So I know what you're quoting a movie.
Yeah, we're just trying to pad the time out, folks. Maybe you've noticed that yet. But do you have a closing statement?
I do have a closing statement. A weird classic of cinema, which, like with Hot Fuzz and a lot of the other Cornetto trilogy movies, sort of picks a really strong core theme and then has fun with it. There's a lot of really clever jokes, a lot of really stupid jokes, but at the core of it, it's a really intelligent movie, and I really, really like it.
I agree. I'm unsure why Ernest got the big redemption arc in it. It would have been better if Helen was the one to have the dignified death. And why are all the jobs in these films either a doctor or a writer? Like, there are more professions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Everybody is either a doctor or a writer.
Yeah. But there you go.
Well, yeah, no, good statement, bro. Yeah, I think that is the end of the podcast. I literally have no other notes, no other closing statement number 2 or anything. So yeah, we've got some cheeky capitalist shilling to do.
We do.
Lovely.
The podcast has link trees. Lewis's link tree is linktr.ee/Lewis_Brindley. Mine is /O'Hiram. And the podcast is Shouting Into the Void, all together, no spaces, no caps, just all together. We also have a PayPal donate button, so anything you can spare, anything at all, would be greatly appreciated. We also have a Patreon, and we take the opportunity every week to thank our wonderful, wonderful patrons. Chloe.
Thank you.
Darius.
Thank you.
Sophie.
Thank you.
Peter.
Thank you.
Aditya.
Thank you.
Richard.
Thank you.
Natalie.
Thank you.
And Dougie.
Thank you. One and all. You keep the lights on at Void Towers and you allow us to keep making this show that we love to make. So thank you very much for your continued help and support. It means the world.
Absolutely. Last but not least, we are partnered with a fantastic company called Number 12 Crochet Avenue, and I've missed out merch, but we have merch on Teespring and Redbubble. Hey, buy some fucking whatever. And last but not least, we are partnered with
buy some fucking whatever.
Partnered with a fantastic company called Number 12 Crochet Avenue, and Lewis is going to say some wonderful things about them, all of which are true.
Indeed I am. Number 12 Crochet Avenue is a wonderful company run by my wonderful wife, in which she crochets and talks all about it. You can go and check her out at Number 12 Crochet Avenue on Instagram. It's a really good crochet feed. It's a really good Instagram addition to your Instagram feed, because the pictures and images and just the overall vibe is chef's kiss beautiful. So go and take a look. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, that was Death Becomes Her.
It was?
Yes.
What are we doing next week, Dan?
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
The School of Rock.
Ooh, very nice.
Yes.
It's one of those fantastic movies, which we've done quite a few of recently, where at the start you're like, oh, it's just a dumb comedy movie, and then the final 2/3 you're like, this is the greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time.
Exactly. So we're looking forward to that. So tune in next week, and we will hear you, see you, smell you, make you paint yourself for eternity. Next time.
Yep. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.